At the beach house party, my wife played volleyball with single guys while I helped with setup. When someone mentioned her wedding ring, it happened at the beach house party, the night I stopped being her husband and started being her judge. The sun was sinking, painting the ocean gold. She was laughing, not with me, not near me, but across the sand, surrounded by men who had conveniently forgotten their shirts. I was stringing lights over the deck, making the place glow for everyone else's fun. Someone shouted, "Hey, Jenna, where's your ring? Didn't you get married or something?" She held up her hand, the one I placed that ring on, and said, "This old thing? It's more like a friendship bracelet." The laughter that followed burned louder than the bonfire. I smiled, a quiet, steady smile. I tied the last knot in the string lights and took mental notes. We'd been married 5 years, together for 8. She used to say she loved that I was steady, calm, the eye in the storm, she called me. She didn't realize that even the eye moves, and when it does, it destroys everything in its path. We met in college. She was wild, magnetic, spontaneous. I was structured, careful. She said I balanced her out. I believed it. I was stupid enough to think love meant trust, and trust meant safety. Over the years, I built us a life, a house, a future, security. She built connections. I never minded her being social. I never questioned the late texts, the work friends, the weekend trips that somehow didn't include me. But that night, when she called her wedding ring a friendship bracelet, that was the confession she didn't mean to make, and I heard it clearly. Later that night, after everyone left, she was drunk on laughter and wine. I cleaned up the bottles while she scrolled through her phone, giggling at something, or someone. "Fun night?" I asked. "The best," she said. "You should have joined in." I nodded. "Maybe next time." She kissed my cheek and went to bed. I stayed up. My eyes weren't tired. I looked out the window toward the guest house where one of her friends, Nate, was staying. He'd been the one closest to her on the volleyball court, the one she'd called my partner. And I noticed his car lights still on, at 2 a.m. That was all I needed to stay awake until morning. By sunrise, I wasn't angry. I was focused. While she slept, I unlocked her phone. I already knew her passcode. She'd made it our anniversary date. Ironic. I went through messages, pictures, voice notes. I didn't have to dig far. She wasn't careful. Conversations with Nate stretched back months. Flirty texts, inside jokes, photos from her solo trips. I found one of them together. His hand on her thigh, her smile too familiar. I copied everything. Every image, message, timestamp, saved, backed up, printed. Then I went to work. Not at my job, but on my plan. Revenge is an art. You don't throw paint, you carve with precision. Finances. I moved our savings into an account under my name only. Slowly, over 2 weeks, while pretending nothing was wrong. I canceled her credit card by mistake and replaced it with a limited one. She didn't notice. The house. The lease was under my name. Her contribution was verbal, never legal. Convenient. I found a new tenant for the guest house, set to move in the following weekend. Exposure. I compiled her messages, labeled them neatly by date and category. Denial, flirtation, affair. A digital dossier, just waiting for the right moment. I didn't leave it at that. I called the numbers I had collected, her sorority sisters, her closest friends. One by one, they picked up, panic in their voices, questions spilling out. Is this true? What happened? Why did you do this? They didn't know the half of it, and neither did she. I stayed silent. I let the chaos breathe. Her live stream collapsed into confusion. Comments piled up. Questions, accusations, disbelief. And there she was, frozen in frame, realizing that the world had shifted without her consent, that the control she thought she wielded over me was an illusion. The payoff was intoxicating, not because I had publicly humiliated her, though I did, but because I had reclaimed my own dignity. I had removed her power in one deliberate stroke. She couldn't mock me anymore. She couldn't manipulate me. I had anticipated every move, outmaneuvered every ally. I watched the aftermath. Screenshots of my single status update spread faster than wildfire. Messages flooded in, old friends checking in, acquaintances I hadn't spoken to in months. I had no idea. She's terrible. Glad you did that. Validation wasn't the goal, but it was a sweet side effect. She called. Of course she called. I didn't answer. She texted. I didn't respond. Her friends pleaded, negotiated, tried to explain, tried to reverse the digital reality I had created. I let them unravel. I let Riley see, in real time, the consequences of her arrogance. Her empire of friends, her carefully curated image, faltered like sand slipping through fingers. I kept my word. Surgical, silent, precise. No yelling, no confrontation. Just the truth and my cold, calm execution of justice. The wedding? Canceled. Her family? Shocked. Friends? Confused. And me? Free. I leaned back, finally letting myself breathe. My phone buzzed again. Notifications, calls, messages. But I didn't need them. I had won. I had taken back what was mine. Not out of spite alone, but for the sake of my own self-respect. Betrayal is a fire, and revenge is its smoke. But satisfaction? Satisfaction is the calm after, when you know that every step, every move, every silent calculation was worth it. I sip my coffee. Morning light cuts through the blinds. The city moves on, indifferent. But I don't need it to notice. I know. And that is enough. She lost. I rose. And I did it quietly, deliberately, perfectly. No tears, no shouting. Just the cold, undeniable truth. I am single. I am free. And she will remember this moment for the rest of her life.